morning, everybody. Cougar here, back for more adventures in the amazing underwater survival game Subnautica. Got to get our morning coffee. And then I want you to come over here and have a seat, because we need to talk. Reminder, while you're seated, your health and your water do not go down. So, listen, it's not you, it's me. No, wait, it's not that kind of talk. But we've reached a point in the game where it's going to stop leading you by the nose through the storyline. And it's going to ask you to put on your detective cap and start piecing together some of the clues and storylines that we've already seen in the game for yourself in order to figure out what you need to do next. So let's go over some of the key plot points that we've encountered so far. First, and most importantly, of course, is that something shot down your spaceship, and the Dagazi spaceship, and the Sunbeam. Now, having witnessed the Sunbeam's destruction, we all know what it was that shot down all those spaceships. So, before we're going to be able to get off this planet, we're going to have to figure out how to disable that massive gun, right? But on our visit inside that gun facility, we got jabbed with a giant poker and learned two important things. One, we are infected with an alien virus. And two, infected creatures cannot disable the gun. So we put 1 and 2 together and figure out that we are going to have to find a way to cure ourselves of that alien infection before we can disable the gun. So how are we going to do that? For the answer to that, let's take a closer look at one of the data downloads we picked up on that alien facility. We're going to go to data download, the data bank, data downloads, codes and clues, alien facility locations. Now we picked this up from a data bank on the alien facility. We gave it a brief glance when we first picked it up, but now it's time to have a seat and look at it more closely. Alien facility locations. Intercepted background data regarding further alien facilities elsewhere on the planet. Disease Research Facility is the first entry. It is at a depth of 800 meters. Its location is a cave system with an extensive fossil record southwest of the enforcement platform. Its function is to study live specimens infected with a virus. Its objective is the synthesis of an antidote for the highly infectious bacterium designated Kara, which is what we're infected with. So this seems like it would be a great place to start looking for a cure. The thermal power facility, that's at a depth of 1,200 meters. Let's worry about that later. Going on to the other entries, all this data is corrupted. We're going to have to find these facilities on our own just by exploring. A little bit of text here at the bottom that just confirms that there are quarantine procedures that are in effect, and the quarantine enforcement platform, that massive gun, will target all incoming and outgoing craft to prevent the spread of infection off-world. Now, we probably could have figured that out ourselves, but that's just confirming it. All right, so Disease Research Facility, 800 meters down. Right now, our Seamoth can only reach depth of 500 meters, which means that a top priority for us is going to be upgrading the Seamoth Mark II Depth Module to a Seamoth Mark III Depth Module. Now, I have already prepped everything that we're going to need to do that. So let's do it here at the modification station. Go to Seamoth Upgrades. We will need the Seamoth Depth Module, which we've already made, a plasteel ingot, and 3 rubies. Another upgrade we're going to want to make as long as we're here is the high capacity, the ultra high capacity air tank. We found the blueprint for this at a data box. I forget exactly where. But to make that, we need a high capacity oxygen tank and 4 times lithium. I went ahead and pre-prepped that stuff so we can just make it. If we go to our inventory, we are carrying the lightweight high capacity tank. We need to swap that out for the ultra high capacity tank and dump off our lightweight tank in storage. Another thing we need to do before we leave base, we've got a little bit of housekeeping to take care of. Before we do that, let me just point out that, remember, we dropped off a couple of eggs that we found lying around in our tank. We have now hatched a little baby stalker and a little baby gasopod, and they will be swimming around in our tank. Something to point out, though, is that if you remove these from the tank, they will return to their normal behavior. The stalker will try to eat you, and the gasopod will try to fart on you. If you drop either of these right outside your base, now we could go in the alien containment tank, pick them up, and drop them outside our base. We don't want to do that because they will immediately revert to their natural behavior and hate us a lot. So for now, let's go to our upgrade panel. Let us insert the Seamoth Depth Module Mark III. Our crush depth is now 900 meters. Remember, the disease research facility is at 800 meters, so we could proceed down to that facility in our Seamoth if we chose. Because that is on our agenda today, we are going to take this opportunity to stuff our Seamoth storage full of spare supplies. Lots of extra water, a few extra health packs. Let's drink up the coffee that we made earlier. We haven't had our coffee yet. Definitely need that. And another thing to note, we found an orange tablet at that second Dagazi base. We found a couple of purple tablets out at the gun facility. So we're bringing those with us. We may need them. Again, before we actually set out on our adventure, we got a little bit of housekeeping to take care of.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Welcome aboard. I just left. The housekeeping that we wanted to take care of was to locate our little cuttlefish. Here he is over here. Hey, buddy. Right-click on him to make him follow us. Now, hey, bud. Now, I just recently reached 1,000 subscribers. My buddy Nick Palacci was my 1,000th subscriber. I offered him the opportunity to name our pet cuttlefish. And we are now going to christen him Nugget. Cuttlefish's name is now Nugget. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here. We're going to play some more. Would you like a snack? Yes, you would. I know you would. You got it. A little bit more. Let's have some more. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Is it here behind your ear? Yeah, you like that. I think that's his favorite little trick I play. Come back. Come back. We're not done. Where are you going? One more. One more for the road. You're welcome. All right, now I'm going to right-click on him again to tell him to stop following me. Leave him here where it's safe and proceed with our second little bit of housekeeping, which is that radio message that is waiting for us back at our life pod. I say back at our life pod, we could, in theory, build a radio relay on our base. We just haven't done it because our base is so close to the life pod. Why even bother? Let's see what this has to say.
This is Altera HQ. This may be your only communications window. We can't send a rescue ship all the way out there, so Aurora, you're just gonna have to meet us halfway. We've uploaded blueprints to the ship's computer.
We're doing a sandwich run. You in?
Yeah, give me a second. Black box data shows the high security terminal in the captain's quarters is still functional.
Becky's leaving like in 5 minutes.
All right, tell Becky I'll just take the regular.
The regular.
Yeah, she'll know what I mean. The code should
And
be...
if she doesn't,
Just tell her the regular, dude.
okay.
The
If
code...
I say regular, and she's like, "What's the regular?" I have to come all the way back up here.
The code should be 2679. The regular's just a ham and cheese.
Okay, would you just say ham and cheese?
Ham and cheese.
Okay.
Okay. So, if you remember when we were over on board the Aurora, we encountered the captain's quarters. We did not have a code to get into the captain's quarters. We need to get into the captain's quarters. That is something that we are going to return to the Aurora in order to accomplish. That is not on our agenda today. You may have noticed if those voices sounded familiar to you. Yes, that is Neebs and Abstro from the popular gaming channel Neebs Gaming. They did a little cameo for Subnautica. Their voice work is excellent, as always. All right. We are ready to set out. Before we totally set out, I would like to just top off my food and water really quickly so that we're leaving with a full tummy. That'll do it. And now we are ready to proceed on our little adventure. Down to look for the disease research facility at 800 meters depth. To get there, we are going to proceed back to the deep Grand Reef. Remember, to get to the deep Grand Reef from the life pod, you head southwest, you find the border of the red grass zone and the kelp zone. As you're heading southwest, you ride this border, keeping your eye out to the left for a little notch, a little ravine. Once you hit that little ravine, here it is right here. Turn left and follow the ravine down into the deep Grand Reef. I believe that when we, after exploring the second Dagazi habitat, the marker for it automatically deactivated. Let's turn that back on just to give us a frame of reference as to where we're heading. And continue down, 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 down. Oh yeah, there is another wreck here that we have not explored. Let's see if we can bang out this wreck exploration really quickly. Just make sure that there's nothing super valuable in there that we are leaving behind. Let's explore the outside first. Looks like I just saw a data box down there. Indeed, there's a data box with the Cyclops Depth Module Mark 1. Super useful. Scanner room fragment we already have. A thermal plant fragment we do not have. This is huge. I would love to find a second piece of it, which will now allow us to build the thermal plant. The thermal plant will provide power to your base when built near something with thermal activity. Here's a membrane tree. We haven't gotten up close and personal with these before. They are extremely beautiful. And if I weren't worried about wasting too much time, there's a drill arm fragment, prawn suit drill arm fragment. If I weren't worried about wasting too much time, I would cut a sample of those and bring it with me to plant back at base. That's another drill arm fragment. Don't need that anymore. We already found that. We already have that blueprint. Alright, I think that's it on the outside here. Quickly swim inside and take a peek. We have enough oxygen to do that. Not seeing anything useful there. Here's a laser cutter door. Prawn suit drill arm fragment. This, I think, is just another way in or out. Yeah, that just takes us back out again. Let's see if we can get through this door quickly before heading back for more oxygen. Oops. Laser cutter. Watch your eyes. This is going to be bright. Okay, let's just poke our noses in here and see what we see, and then head... Ah! Got zapped. And then head back out and get some oxygen. Okay. Oh, another laser cutter door. Definitely not going to do that right now. Got to get out of here and get some oxygen. I have a spare power cell with me, so I'm not too worried about leaving the lights on in the Seamoth. I would rather have it easier to find and providing some illumination. Ah, I'm an idiot. Oop, that's another data box. This has a Cyclops docking bay repair module. Again, we are very close to building a Cyclops. Of the 9 fragments needed to make that happen, we have 8 of them. I am missing 1 Cyclops hull fragment. Let's cut through this other door. Watch your eyes. Okay, another prawn suit arm. That's the grappling arm. Yeah, we don't need that. No, 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 no. Let's see what's through here. Another room with more prawn suit stuff in it. Those are that's a grappling arm, and a grappling arm. Here's a PDA.
Integrating new PDA data.
A corporate profile of the Torgal Corporation. Might be worth reading, but there's no voice log to listen to. So I'll let you read that on your own. And I think that's it from this wreck. Whether we got every last little thing or not, I think we got enough to call that explored. And we have other stuff, important stuff, to do today. So let's continue. Continue down. Down, 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 deeper and deeper. I just saw a ruby. I'm going to stop and pick these up wherever I see them because they mostly only spawn at depth, and we are going to be heading down today deeper than we've ever been before. So it is going to be worth it for us to do some serious gathering down here of stuff that we have never seen before. I think that's a thermal plant fragment that we already built. Any materials that we find down here may be useful in advanced crafting stuff that we haven't even seen the recipes for yet, or have not had a reason to learn the recipes for because we aren't at that point. We don't have a Cyclops yet, we don't have a prawn yet. I could build a prawn. I have the prawn blueprint, but I haven't built one yet. There's really, in my opinion, there's no point in having a prawn until you have a Cyclops to move it around, because it's very slow on its own. Once you can load it aboard the Cyclops, it becomes a bit more useful. Now here's the proposed Gazi habitat. We've already been here, but we'll use this as a frame of reference. From here, we're going to continue down. Down from here. That's a crab squid, and there's a warper. A little bit dangerous around here. There's the crab squid up there. They're the warpers. Down from that second Dagazi base brings us northwest-ish, but just basically down is the way you're going. Alright, and now here we are in a biome we have never seen before. This is the Lost River. I just let my Seamoth slam into me. These are ghost rays. We've never seen these before. Let's give them a quick scan. And then a quick look around down here. This green stuff below us is brine. It is not good for you. You do not want to be diving down in there without protection. By protection, I mean either a prawn suit or a Cyclops or a Seamoth. The brine won't harm a vehicle, but it will harm you if you go diving down in there. Alright, so just to recap, we came down from the Dagazi habitat. We hit the Lost River. We're following the Lost River along. At this point, it's taking us northwest. Now, the direction we want to go eventually is that-a-way. We want to turn right here and continue northeast, but there's something down here that I think we should check out first. Wow. Look at the size of that. Those teeth are as big as I am. Jeez. This is scannable. Let's give it a scan. It is an ancient skeleton. An ancient fossilized skeleton. Damn. It is gigundous. And it looks like they were doing some kind of research on it. They were studying it. And by they, I mean the aliens. Well, I say aliens, but we're the aliens here. The ones that were here were the natives. If we follow these power cables back to their origin, we're going to find crab squid. We are going to find a crab squid. No, we are going to find a little alien room that requires an orange tablet to enter. We have an orange tablet. We brought it with us. We're going to slam it in there. Oh my god, take a huge amount of damage from a crab squid. Pop a first aid kit so we don't die. And hope that he does not follow us in here. No, it looks like he can't get through. Thank goodness. So what have we found here? Now, really quickly, remember when we read this entry about the alien facilities, it noted these two sanctuaries, Sanctuary A, Sanctuary B, off-site laboratory, without any information on where to locate them. I think we just stumbled across one. There is stuff to scan in here. Here's a data download.
Integrating new PDA data.
Fauna reproductive data. That's worth a read. Bunch of ion cubes. Very valuable. Alien research equipment. Look! Another cuttlefish egg! We could have two! Oh, now I have to figure out a way to offer someone else the opportunity to name a cuttlefish. Alright, I think we got everything we were going to get out of here. Running a little low on oxygen. I don't see anything else worth picking up. A ruby up there, but we're gonna find more rubies down here. I'm pretty sure. So we're running a little low on oxygen. Let's head back. Oh, here he comes. Yeah. You know, let's get oxygen and zip back over there in the Seamoth, because I think I saw something out of the corner of my eye there that we might want to pick up. Let's go check it out. Whew. That was a little hairy. Now, I'm not too worried about food down here because we have the thermal blade. We can always... Well, since he shut us down, let's get out of here. The thing I saw was this. Nickel ore. Now, I was talking about resources that we may want to pick up when we're down here that might come in handy later on. Nickel ore is a resource we've never seen before, and it only spawns at depth. So, whoa! Holy crap, he's knocking the crap out of our Seamoth. Let's get the repair tool ready. Get in here and get away from that guy as fast as possible, and then get out and repair this Seamoth. This Seamoth's down to 40% health. Now it's saying swim to surface because that shut off the oxygen production, but we're fine. We're fine. We just got to get away from him so we can repair this so he doesn't freaking destroy it. Alright, I think we lost him. Let's jump out. We may even want to burn another health pack here so we don't get one-shotted by one of those nasties. Pick up another spare health pack out of our Seamoth storage. And since we already need the water, drink one. Two spares is enough. Let's put our cuttlefish in there for safekeeping. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Alright. That was a little hairy with that crab squid patrolling in there, but we are back out where we started. That's where we came in. the Dagazi habitat. We came down past that drop off. Now we are turning what would be right if we were coming in from that direction and proceeding northeast down the Lost River. Again, we want to be keeping an eye out for special materials that we've never seen before. Whoa.
Terrain scans indicate this biome contains unusually high concentrations of organic and fossilized remains.
I'm going to surmise that maybe something to do with the brine. Whoa. Ah, Ghost Leviathan! Run away! Run away, run away, run away! Oh. Go away. Whoa. That is our closest encounter with a Leviathan of any kind. We have not gotten that close to any of them before. We were able to outrun that one, thank goodness. He would have definitely put the hurt on my Seamoth. I'm going to try to wedge the Seamoth in here to keep it safe for now while we jump out and explore a bit. This may not be the safest place to go exploring with the Ghost Leviathan swimming around, but again, I want to be looking for materials to pick up here. Rubies, rubies, rubies everywhere. We've already picked up a bunch of rubies. I don't want to completely clog up my inventory with rubies because there's even more valuable materials to pick up down here. Oh. Another huge freaking skeleton. Skeletal remains. Let's scan this. A gargantuan fossil. So something to do with the brine in the water here. Maybe preserving these skeletons more than we'd see in another environment, another biome. Wow, look at the size of those bones. So yeah, I didn't talk about those. Those are river prowlers. That's another predator that you're only going to find deep down here. Or down deep here. Either one. Just give this a quick look around. Aerogel down here. Now we're already growing some back at base, so we don't need to worry about picking that up. But in order to not make this trip too short by encountering our Ghost Leviathan and having him destroy our Seamoth, let's continue on the way to the disease research facility. Now, I'm sorry, with all that spinning around here, I may have gotten you a little turned around. There's the Dagazi, that's habitat, that's how we came in. We traveled down the Ghost River, we saw that massive skull there, the gargantuan skeleton skull, all these ribs. We continue north past here, over a brine waterfall, down into another little brine area here. This seems like a bit safer. We might want to jump out and do some more resource gathering here if we saw any. I think I do see some. Here is another resource we've never seen before. This is crystalline. Oh, that's Nicolor. I'm sorry. But another resource you can find down here that you're going to need later on for advanced crafting is called crystalline sulfur. You often find it, yeah, see, there it is right down there. All right, there's some under the brine here. I'm going to quickly dive in there and pick it up. We'll take a little bit of damage, but that's okay. Now, by a little bit, I mean about 15 to 20% of our health. Luckily, we have other health packs on us. In the meantime, I can use my thermal blade to refill my food up to its maximum and hopefully start our natural regenerative regenerating healing process. Get that going a little bit better. If I can catch one of these, another one of these spine fish. Come here. All right. I have 2 cooked spine fish. That brings us up to 100% food. If I drink some water, now we should be doing our natural healing because our food and water are full. So that is going to help us heal at least a little bit, at least 10% of our health. We are continuing north, following the Lost River, following this brine to the north, because it does branch off. I want to emphasize north. Now we come to a whole nother interesting area. There's another massive skeleton. This is the skeleton of a sea dragon leviathan. Let's jump out. Prowler wants us. It's not going to hurt too much because we're in the Seamoth, but I just want to conserve my Seamoth health as much as possible because we're going to be encountering all sorts of baddies down here. Let's try to wedge in here. See if that'll protect the Seamoth. Scan the Leviathan skeletal remains. That is a sea dragon skeleton. And now, again, I'm gonna turn back around and face to the north. That's the way that we were traveling. I'm right over the sea dragon Leviathan skeleton, and I'm going to turn to my right. So I'm facing east. And you see those alien pillars over there? Let's head that way. Not swim through the brine waterfall. That would be very bad for us. Again, keeping an eye out for more nickel ore or crystalline sulfur. Oh, I lost my direction. We're heading east now. Through this little gap, this little notch. Until we come across the Alien Disease Research Facility.
This alien structure appears to have collapsed to the sea floor.
I wonder what made it collapse to the sea floor. Nothing good, probably.
Detecting an alien broadcast. Linguistic analysis reads, caution, hazardous materials and life forms contained within.
Well, I don't think of much of anything is contained within here anymore. Whoop. But did you notice back here, another one of those airlocks, like we saw at the other facility. This one, however, appears to be deactivated, which is going to allow us to drive our Seamoth right into the facility. Let's give this a quick repair.
Interior walls in this section are substantially reinforced, indicating the designers were seeking either to keep something out or contain it within. Whatever their intention, it clearly failed.
Clearly. Yeah, something went horribly wrong here. Horribly wrong. Check it out. Got a force field here with some important data behind it. Let's insert our tablet. One of the purple tablets we brought with us.
Integrating new PDA data.
Specimen research data. Definitely worth having a seat in a chair or on a bench and reading through. Important information in there, as there was with the entry about the facilities. We're going to continue our exploration of this disease research facility. Look at the size of that egg. Sea dragon egg with that unlocked a entry that you can read at your own, on your own. Some specimens. They got these pinned like butterflies here. Now there's a ray we've never seen before. There's the ghost ray, there's the rabbit ray. There's a ray we have not encountered yet. I wonder where we'll find him. Spadefish, hoopfish, and something we've never seen before that looks gnarly. Alright, before we continue, well, let's go grab that data download and then head back to the Seamoth.
Integrating new PDA data.
That was a data entry that I wasn't quick enough to actually, for it to automatically appear. We're going to have to find that. Let's get back to the Seamoth.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Ray species. I think that's what we wanted. No, it was a damage report, right? Damage report. Leviathan detected at facility perimeter, closing at high speed. Exterior anchor cable impacted with massive force. Exterior anchor system buckling. Facility sinking. Collision with seafloor. Breaches detected in containment unit 7. Leviathan eggs. Immediate specimen destruction protocol initiated. 314 specimens destroyed. 1 specimen unaccounted for. Evacuating staff to off-site sanctuaries. Planetary quarantine protocol initiated. So this is where it all started. This is where the infection got loose and killed a lot of stuff. Whoa. Well, whatever was in here got out. More skeletal remains for us to scan. Remains of research specimen. You got little arms. That may be a baby sea emperor. Or, yeah. Not sure. That's it. That's all we can do in here.
Residual biological evidence suggests indigenous life forms were brought to this location and subjected to intensive study.
Really? Do you think?
Data pertaining to the bacterium is being downloaded. Caution. Detecting atypical fluctuations in blood plasma proteins. A self-scan is strongly advised.
Well, if you strongly advise it, we're doing it. Self-scan.
Self-scan complete. Bacterial infection has spread to the skin and pulmonary system. Medical report recorded to data bank. It is imperative you find a way to neutralize the infection.
Oh no. Oh. Oh, well, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. The infection's getting worse, guys. We definitely have to figure out a way to neutralize that infection. And that's what we're doing. I mean, that is why we're here. That is what we're going to do. Just check my inventory space here before we proceed. Got plenty. But to break the theme for a second, there is no timer on this infection. This infection is not actually progressing according to a clock. There's nothing counting down. The infection proceeds, advances according to when you reach various locations. So don't think that you have to be in a hurry to cure this infection or you're going to die. That's not how it works here. I think we got everything out of this room. These we haven't scanned yet. These new amoeboids. Yeah, I think we got everything we were going to get out of here. We got those 2 important data downloads. One of them advising a self-scan that told us that we are infected. But, again, that was the sound of a... Yeah, okay, we already got that. Again, we're not on any kind of clock here. Proceed at your own pace. The infection will do what it's going to do, according to the story that we have seen so far. Okay? That basically does it, guys, for the disease research facility. We went to the Dagazi base, the second Dagazi base, used that as a frame of reference for getting down here to the alien research facility. What I'd like to show you now, hold on, let me see, I'm gonna mess this up, I bet. Yeah, we came in by traveling east, so looking back out to the west, that's the way we came in. But if we proceed past the facility, Warper, if we proceed past the facility, keep going east, we are going to find another way down into the Lost River. And the easiest way to find this other way into the Lost River is to basically follow it out. The easiest way down into the Lost River, in my humble opinion, is down through the Deep Grand Reef. There are 2 other entrances, both of which you may find easier to get through if you are driving the Cyclops, but only in terms of the obstructions that you're going to be facing. Again, I'm keeping my eye on the floor here, hoping to pick up some more nickel ore or crystalline sulfur. These are all limestone outcrops, which are definitely not worth checking out. But here we go. Okay, so we proceeded past the research facility, continued to the east. We've now encountered another ghost Leviathan. I'm going to try to hug the sea floor here and either not attract his attention. I haven't heard a scream yet indicating that he's seen us. We're going to try to either not attract his attention or at least get some obstacles between it and us. All right, he's back behind us now. So, what I want to do is exit the Lost River by a different route in order to just demonstrate that there are multiple routes down in here, and try to also demonstrate that... Is that nickel ore? No. There's another ruby there. Boy, I haven't found nearly as much nickel ore down here as I was hoping to find. But, again, try to illustrate, once we find the way out of here, we can then kind of mark our location, which will give you an idea of where to look for this other second of 3 entrances to the Lost River. We're up at 600 meters depth now, so we're getting back up to kind of normal depths. There's another Leviathan.
Local scans show a nearby opening, leading to a biome with extensive fossilized remains.
So that's a message that you would have gotten if you were approaching this opening, bone shark, from the outside. We were approaching it from the inside, so that didn't really help us. But if you were getting close to this opening from the outside, you would use that as a hint for how to find this. Now, speaking of hints for how to find this opening down into the Lost River, let's pull up our PDA, go back to our PDA manager. Maybe you remember me mentioning that the signal, the LifePod 12 signal, could serve as a useful reference point for something important out here. There is the LifePod 12 signal. I'm facing basically directly south. That signal is 400 meters away from us. 368 meters exactly, call it 400. So, if you were looking for this entrance and you had the LifePod 12 signal, you could go to LifePod 12, turn north, and go 370 meters north of that LifePod and start looking around for that entrance. Now, we happen to come back up to the surface at nighttime, so that's not terribly useful in terms of us getting our bearings here. But, again, that is what you really need. LifePod 12, 400 meters north. Sun's up. Oh, it was an eclipse. That's why it was so freaking dark. 400 meters north of LifePod 12. There's the aurora. The mountain island is there. And the entrance to the Lost River in the Kushbulb zone is right below us. All right? So I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. We went down through the deep Grand Reef to the proposed Degasi habitat. We used that as a reference point to then turn northwest and proceed deeper, 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 deeper until we found the Lost River. We then checked out a sanctuary site using an orange tablet that we found at that proposed Degasi habitat at 500 meters depth. We then backtracked a little bit and turned a different direction, proceeded through the Lost River to past all those massive skeletons until we reached the Sea Dragon Leviathan skeleton. At that point we turned right, or east, headed east through through an opening, and found the disease research facility. After exploring the facility, we proceeded east past that facility, found another entrance to the Lost River that is located 400 meters north of the LifePod 12 beacon in the Kushbulb zone. All right, so now we've seen two different ways to get down into the Lost River, and we've gotten the information we needed to get out of the disease research facility. The next thing for us is going to be to look for that alien thermal plant that was also listed on the alien facilities data download that we got out at the gun facility. That is, again, at 1,200 meters depth. The Seamoth will not go that deep, which means that in order to explore that facility, we are going to need to build the Cyclops. We are going to need to upgrade the Cyclops with additional depth modules. And we are probably going to also want to build and upgrade the Prawn so that it can go that deep. That'll do it for this episode. Leave a like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. I'll be doing more Subnautica videos. For now, stay safe, stay dry.